guys. This week we are going to start our unit on measurement, and we are going to spend 3 or 4 weeks on measurement, and we're going to start with the customary system. This is the system of measurement that we use here in the United States. So our learning target for today is I can convert different size measurement units in the U.S. customary system. And today we're going to focus on length. So first we need to know what this word convert means. Convert is another word that means change. So if you convert something, it means to change it into a different form so that it can be used in a different way. So an example of that would be the coal that you see here in this picture. You can take coal, convert it or change it, and turn it into a diamond. So it has a whole different purpose. So when we talk about the customary system, these are the words we need to make sure we understand. First, length. And I'm sure you all think of length as how long something is. And that's very true. But actually, length is the distance from one end of something to another. So it also is width. Width is a type of length. Also, height. Height is a type of length. If you're measuring the height of your little brother, you're going to measure him from one end to the other. So all of those 3 words go together under the term length. And I know you've learned about this in 4th grade and probably 3rd grade, but now in 5th grade, we're going to take it to the next level and we're going to be doing some conversions, and they're going to be a little more complex than the conversions you may have done last year. But we're going to start with a review. So you know that inches are the smallest unit in our customary system, and then comes feet. There's 12 inches that make up a foot. And then the next largest is the yard. So a yard is equal to 3 feet or 36 inches. And then the largest unit we have is the mile. And a mile is a measurement of 5,280 feet. But there's another fact I want you to know. A mile is also equal to 1,760 yards. So 2 things at a mile I want you to remember: 5,280 feet and also 1,760 yards is equal to a mile. All right, so let's talk about how we actually do these conversions, or how we convert. When you're converting from a larger unit, like maybe a yard, to a smaller unit, like maybe an inch, you would multiply. And when you're converting a smaller unit, maybe a foot, to a larger unit like a mile, you would divide. Now, I know that seems like a lot to remember, but don't worry, I have got a trick for you. Okay, so here is a trick to help you remember when you need to multiply and when you divide. If you're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, you multiply. So when you look at your problem, your larger unit is your horse. That's your larger unit. And your smaller unit is your fly. And if you are going from larger to smaller, you multiply. So horse to fly, you multiply. Horse to fly, we multiply. When you're going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, so your smaller unit would be your fly, your larger unit would be your horse. Fly to horse, divide, of course. So let's say that one more time. Horse to fly, we multiply. Fly to horse, divide, of course. All right, we're going to look at a couple examples. So if we were going from, let's say we're going to do 36 inches, and we want to find out how many feet that is. This is a real simple one. You could probably do it in your head, but I just want to show you how this little trick works so that when you come to harder problems, you'll know how to use it. So we're starting with inches. We're going to feet. So is inches going to be our horse or our fly? Inches is our fly because it's smaller than a foot. So we are going from fly to horse. So divide, of course. Now, you're always going to divide by the number of littles in one big. What that means is inches is our little unit. How many inches are in 1 foot? Foot is our big unit. So how many littles are in one big? How many little inches are in one big foot? 12. You're absolutely right. So we're going to divide by 12. 36 divided by 12 is 3. So 36 inches is 3 feet. All right, let's try one more, and then we will move on. We're going to try a lot more, but just one more right now. Okay. Let's say we're going to do yards. Why don't we do 2 yards is equal to how many inches? So let's take a look at this problem. We're starting with yards. Is that going to be our horse or our fly? Well, yards is bigger than inches, so yards is going to be our horse. So we are going from our horse to our fly. So horse to fly, we multiply. And we always multiply by the number of littles in one big. So let's think about this. How many little inches are in one big yard? 36, because it's 3 feet. So 36 inches. So we are going to multiply 2 times 36. And that will give us an answer of 72. So 2 yards is 72 inches. Horse to fly, we multiply. Fly to horse, divide, of course. You should say it with me. You know, if we were in the classroom, we would be singing it and clapping, and Noah would be dancing. So horse to fly, we multiply. Fly to horse, divide, of course. Okay, let's take a look at a problem. So to build a swing, Mr. Matson needs 9 feet of rope for each side of the swing and 6 more feet for the monkey bar. The hardware store sells rope by the yard. All right, so he needs to buy rope. Let's figure out how many feet he needs. We know he needs 9 feet of rope for each side of the swing and 6 more feet for the monkey bars. So let's find out our number of feet first. 9 for one side of the swing, 9 for another side of the swing, plus 6 for the monkey bars. 9 plus 9 is 18. 18 plus 6, 24. So he needs 24 feet. But the hardware store only sells rope by the yard. So we're going to have to convert. So Mr. Madsen needs to find out how many yards of rope he needs to buy. He'll need to convert 24 feet to yards. How many groups of 3 feet are in 24 feet? Well, we know that there are 1, 2, 3 feet in one big yard. So that's where we need to start. There are 3 feet in 1 yard. So that's our number of littles in one big. Now we can use our horse to fly, you multiply, fly to horse, divide, of course. So we're starting with 24 feet and we're going to yards. So feet is going to be our fly. Yards is going to be our horse. So fly to horse, divide, of course. So that's where we get this from. Now we're going to divide by the number of littles in one big, or the number of feet in 1 yard, which is 3. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So Mr. Madsen needs to buy 8 yards of rope. Here is a fun song you can stop and listen to if you want, or come back later and listen to it. Okay, we're going to do a couple problems here together. So remember, when you're converting a larger unit to smaller unit, you multiply. That's our horse to fly, we multiply. Smaller unit to larger unit, you divide. Fly to horse, divide, of course. So let's take a look at this first one. 2 miles is equal to how many yards? Okay, so we're going from miles to yards. Miles is going to be our horse. Yards is going to be our fly, so because miles is larger than yards. So horse to fly, we multiply. So that's our operation. We're going to multiply. What are we going to multiply by? The number of littles in one big. Okay, well, if you remember back to the very beginning of our lesson, I told you that there are 1,760 yards in 1 mile. And we're going to multiply that times 2. Okay, and when you multiply that times 2, we get 14, 15, 3,520 yards. So there are 3,520 yards in 1 mile. All right, I'm going to erase that so we can try the next one. Okay. Now we're going from yards to feet. 6 yards is how many feet? Well, let's think. Which is going to be our horse and which is going to be our fly? Well, yards is bigger than feet. So yards is our horse. Feet is our fly. So again, we're going to go horse to fly. So this time we're going to multiply. And we multiply by the number of littles in one big. How many feet are in 1 yard? How many little feet are in 1 big yard? 3. And we multiply that times 6 because that's the number of yards we're starting with. And we get 18. So 6 yards is equal to 18 feet. Horse to fly, you multiply. Fly to horse, divide, of course. Okay, now it's your time to practice. So I want you'll see a link in our module for this week for the Khan Academy assignment, and it's called Estimating Length. So click on that link. It's right after this video, and you're going to go to Khan Academy, complete this Estimating Length assignment, and then it's very important that you go back to that assignment and you click on the blue Submit Assignment button, okay? You got to look for that. If you see it, you got to use it. So after you finish this assignment, you click Submit Assignment, and then in that text box, you can tell me your score, or you can tell me how you think you did, or if you need help on this and you're not understanding very well, this is where you would tell me. I read everything you write into those text boxes, so that's your place to communicate to me about the skill and how you're doing. If you write me a message, I will write you back. So make sure you look on your home page. You have a section called Recent Feedback. And if you have written me a message, then my reply to you will be in that Recent Feedback section. So you should look for that. Okay, don't forget to come back and submit your assignment. That is like entering your grade into the grade book. So it's really important. You don't want to do all that work and then not have a grade in the grade book for it. All right, if you have any questions, you know how to reach me. You can send me a message through Remind or Canvas or email. And I know you're going to do great on this. See you soon.